Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today we from Group 5 will present about problem-based learning. We will present the answer for PBL Season 1, Revenue Cycle, PBL Season 3, Payroll Cycle, and lastly PBL Season 5, General Ledger and Reporting System. Hi, my name is Siti Nomaisa Ramnodin and I will present the answer for PBL Session 1 Part A. Before that, I will explain the basic symbol of data flow diagram. The first one is rectangle, which indicates the external entity. It is a source to send the information into the system or receive information from it. The second one is circle, which indicates the process. It shows the works or action performed on the data. The third one is two parallel lines above and below, which indicate the data store. It is a place where data is stored and retrieved within the system. And the last one is arrow, which indicate the data flow. It is a movement of data between external entity, processes, and data store. As you can see, this is data flow diagram for Sport West Serian Berhad. Okay, what is data flow diagram? Data flow diagram is a way of presenting a flow of duty through a process or a system. This diagram starts with 1.0, which is prepare sale order. The sale representative will take an order from the customer through the phone or fax, and then the sale clerk will key in the customer order into the sale order file, and one copy of sale order is filled in open customer file. The use of this file is to answering the customer inquiries. Next, we go to the 2.0, which retrieve the goods. This happens when the sale clerk send the printed sale order to the warehouse. When the warehouse receives the sale order, a warehouse worker will retrieve the goods and update the inventory and general ledger using the inventory data. Next, we go to 3.0, which pack and ship the goods. Once the bill landing is complete, the warehouse worker will pack the good and ship the good to the customer, along with packing slip and bill landing slip. The goods will be sent through the shipping company to the customer. Next, we go to 4.0, which prepare the invoice. The worker will prepare a shipping notice that sent to billing department along with the bill of lading and sale order. The sale order will also send to the billing department for the preparation of sale invoice. One copy of the invoice will also send to the customer. And lastly, which is 5.0, which update the account. After receiving the sale order, the billing department clerk fill in a temporary file until the shipping notice, bill of lading, and sale order have arrived to the warehouse. Once all the documents have arrived, the clerk review this document and will record the sale in the sale journal and update the account receivable, subsidiary ledger, and general ledger. Another copy of invoice will send to the sale department to close the open customer file. After closing the open customer file, all documents in the file are sent to the billing department. These documents are then filled in the account receivable pending file along with other documents received by billing department and await to the customer payment.
My name is Hidayah and I will present question B, which is to discuss the advantage of re-engineering sales order processing with real-time technology. Re-engineering the sales order processing to include real-time technology can significantly reduce operating costs while increasing revenues. There are four of the advantage of re-engineering sales order processing with real-time technology. The first one, reduce the firm's cash cycle. Real-time processing greatly shortens the cash cycle of the firm. Lacks inherent in batch system can cause delays of several days between taking an order and billing the customer. A real-time system with remote terminals reduces or eliminates these lags. An order received in the morning may be shipped by early afternoon, thus permitting same-day billing of the customer. Second advantage are give the firm a competitive advantage in the marketplace. By maintaining current inventory information, sales staff can determine immediately whether the inventories are on hand. This enhances the firm's ability to maximize customer satisfaction, which is translated into increased sales. In contrast, batch systems do not provide salespeople with current information. As a result, a portion of the order must sometimes be back ordered, causing uncertainty for the customer. Next, improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of operation. Manual procedures tend to produce clerical error, such as incorrect account numbers, invalid inventory numbers, and price quantity extension miscalculation. This error may go undetected in batch system until the source document reach data processing, by which time the damage may have already been done. For example, the firm may find that it has shipped goods to the wrong address, shipped the wrong goods, or promised goods to a customer at the wrong price. Real-time editing permits the identification of many kinds of error as they occur and greatly improve the efficiency and the effectiveness of operation. And the last one are reduce the amount of paper document in a system. Real-time processing reduces the amount of paper document in a system. Hard copy documents are expensive to produce and clutter the system. The permanent storage of this document can become a financial and operational burden. Documents in digital form are efficient, effective, and adequate for audit trail purpose.
Assalamualaikum, and next I am Nurkamarina binti Muhammad. I will explain about question 3, which is payroll cycle. So the question asks me to analyze 5 internal control weaknesses in payroll system and suggest their improvement. So first, as we look at in the question provided, there are a problem in a clock-in process. As we can see, there are no monitoring or supervision in the clock-in and clock-out process in this company. As we can see on the table, I have identified 2 weaknesses from this situation. For the first one, as there are no supervision of the clock-in process, employee can clock in into multiple employee accounts simply by swipe their card. For example, employee could bring card for the absent employee and swipe that card. By this, it will result in increase in payroll costs for Mega Megastar Berhad, as employee could effectively be paid for the work they not done. Next, for the improvement, I would suggest that the clock in and out procedure should be supervised by a responsible official to prevent one individual clock in into multiple employee accounts. In addition, Mega Megastar Berhad could consider linking the access to the factory floor with the employee swipe card system. Hence, employee only can access to the factory one at a time upon presentation of their employee swipe card. Other than that, I also would like to suggest that shift manager should reconcile the number of workers physically present on the production line with the computerized record of the number of employees logged in for each work shift. For the second weaknesses, because there are no supervision or monitoring of clock in and out process, employee could try to boost their hour work by clock in several hours late after their shift finish. By this, it will result into overtime is not authorized by a responsible official, as employee get paid for the work they not done. For the improvement, I would suggest that overtime hours should be reviewed by the production supervisor prior to the payment to ensure only previously authorized overtime is paid for. For the next weaknesses, it's based on wages calculation and increase in hourly wages by HR. As we can see in the question provided here, the calculations are not checked by anyone as they are generated by the payroll system. And HR department has notified the payroll department in increase in hourly wages only on verbally. Next witnesses is the wages calculation. The wages calculation are generated by the payroll system and there are no perform check. Therefore, if there are any error occurred during the payroll processing, this would not be identified. This could be result in the wage to be over or under calculated, leading to an additional payroll cost or loss to employee goodwill. So for the improvement, I would suggest a senior member of payroll team to recalculate the gross amount of the payment of sample employee and compare them from the result from the payroll system. Also, this calculation should be signed as approved before wages payment are made done. For the net witnesses, the hourly wages has been increased by the Human Resources Department and notified to the Payroll Department verbally. In my opinion, any decision to increase wages need to be made by the board as a whole, not only by HR department, as payroll can be a significant expenses to a business. Other than that, the payroll department should not accept verbally notification of pay increases, as it could be unauthorized increase. As example, it could be an effort by employee in the HR department to help their staff member, such as their friend. For the improvement, I would suggest that all the increases of pay should be proposed by the HR department and then formally agreed by the board of directors. In addition, written notification of increase should be sent to payroll and HR department, and only when that happens, the pay rise should be incorporated into the payroll package. For the last witnesses, it is related to wages payout, where payroll department give responsibility to the supervisor to give night shift worker their packet payment. The factory supervisor should not be given any pay packet of the night shift staff, as this is significant amount of cash. This cash will not be in a secure location and is so open to the risk of thief. In addition, the supervisor is not sufficiently independent to pay wages out. He could adjust the pay packet to increase those of his close friends and reduce others. For employee absent on the payday, the supervisor retain the wages and only return that on Monday. This cash is therefore not secure and is open to the risk of loss or thief. For the improvement, I would suggest that consideration should be given to the operating a shift system for the payroll department on Friday. This to ensure that there are sufficient payroll employee to perform the wages payout to the night shift employee. Therefore, the same control applied in the morning and late afternoon shift can be put into the night shift also. Other than that, employee who miss out the payout by the payroll department need to wait until Monday for their pay, and no factory supervisor should be allowed to hand out wages. Pay packet of absent employees should be safely secure in the overnight safe and bank on the Monday. That's all from me. For question B and C, my other team member, Nur Sahira, will further explain it. Thank you.
My name is Nur Sahira. I will proceed to the next question, which is discuss substantive procedure you should now perform to confirm the accuracy and completeness of Mega Mewah Sdn Bhd payroll charge. So this slide show the payroll substantive procedure. So first, agree the total wage and salary expenses per the payroll system to the detailed trial balance and investigate any differences. Next, cast the samples of payroll record to confirm completeness and accuracy of the payroll expenses. So next, after cast a sample, recalculate the gross and net pay and agree to the payroll record to verify accuracy, and then re-perform calculation of statutory deduction to confirm whether correct deductions for this year have been included within the payroll expenses. Next, we will compare the total payroll expenses to the prior year and investigate any significant differences, and review monthly payroll charge and compare this to the prior year and budget, and then we discuss with the management any significant variance. So next procedure, perform a proof in total of total wage and salary, incorporate joiner and labor and the pay will increase. Compare this to the actual wage and salary in the financial statement and investigate any significant differences. and then select examples of joiner and leaver, agree with their start and leaving date to supporting documentation, recalculate that their first and last pay packet were correctly calculated and recorded. For the salary, agree to the total net pay per the payroll record, to the bank transfer listing of payments and to the cash book, for which agree the total cash withdrawn for which payments equate to the weekly wage paid plus any surplus cash subsequently banked to confirm completeness and accuracy. After that, we agree the year-end tax liability to the payroll record and subsequent payment to the post-year-end cash book to confirm completeness. And last but not least, agree the individual wage and salary per the payroll to the personal record and record of our work per clocking in card. So the next question is, elaborate any two possible risks that are associated with the payroll management system. So the first risk is risk of fraud. We look at the case of question. It mentioned that there is no supervisions and monitoring of the clock-in process. Then, as witnesses, employee can clock in multiple employees simply by using their employee swipe card. So this will result in substantially increased payroll costs for Mega Mewah Sedia Berhad. In addition, without supervisions or monitoring of the clock-in clock-out process, employee can lie about their time working by trying to increase their hour work by clocking out several hours after their shift have finished. So, this will lead to a fraud as illegal and invalid overtime payment may occur. So, next is risk of theft. We look at the case of question. The factory supervisor should not be given a night shift staff pay packet because this is a significant amount of cash. In addition, the cash will not be in secure locations and so it's open to the risk of theft. Also, the employee who are absent on payday, the supervisor keep the pay packet and only return it on Monday. So, this cash is unsafe and prone to loss of theft.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zainal Ibi Arifin. I will be presenting question 5A and question 5B. Question 5A asks to explain on the 5 basic category of adjusting entry. First one is accrual. It's meant for including transactions that occur during the current accounting period but not yet been recorded in a company general ledger account. Without accrual adjusting entry, those transactions will likely be reported in a later accounting period. This means that the financial statement for 2 accounting period will be incorrect amount. One of the example is wages payable. Second is deferred. Deferred refer to an amount that was paid or received but the amount cannot be reported on the current income statement since it will be an expenses or revenue of a future accounting period. In other words, the future amount is deferred to a balance sheet account until a later accounting period when it will be moved to the income statement. For example, is rent and insurance. Next is estimate. An estimate adjusted entry is used to adjust the balance in a reserve, such as the allowance for doubtful account or the reserve for the inventory obsolescence. This is done in order to maintain adequate reserve level that reasonably reflects the amount of losses from existing asset that can be expected in future period. Another one is revaluation. Revaluation entry made to reflect either difference between the actual and recorded value of an asset or a change in accounting principle. Example include a change in the method used to value inventory, reducing the value of inventory to reflect obsolescence, or adjusting inventory record to reflect the result not during the physical count of inventory. Lastly is correction. Correction entry ensure that your financial records are accurate. With correction entry, you can adjust the beginning of an accounting period retained earning. Retained earning include your take-home money after paying expense for the period. This kind of entry are called prior period adjustment. For next question is 5B. This question asks to explain the control needed to encounter the threat of poorly designed report and graph. These are 3 controls that can encounter the threat. The first one is responsibility accounting and flexible budget. To properly evaluate performance, report should highlight the result that can directly controlled by the person or unit evaluated. Responsibility accounting does this by producing a set of correlated report that break down the organisation overall performance by the specific subunit which can most directly control those activities. Note how each report show actually cost and variance from budget for the current month and the year to date, but only for those items that manager of the subunit control. It is also important to design the budget so that its content match the nature of the unit evaluated. A flexible budget in which the budgeted amount vary in relation to some measure of organizational activity mitigate such problem. Flexible budgeting will entail dividing the budget for each line item in the general superintendent department into its fixed and variable cost component. In this way, budget standard will be automatically adjusted for any unplanned increase or decrease in production. Thus, any difference between these adjusted standards and actual cost can more appropriately can be interpreted. Next is the balance scorecard. The balance scorecard is a strategic management performance metric that help companies identify and improve their internal operation to help their external outcome. It measures past performance data and provides organization with feedback on how to make better decisions in the future. Balance scorecard allow company to measure their intellectual capital along with their financial data to break down success and failure in their internal process. By compiling data from past performance in the single report, management can identify inefficiency, devise plan for improvement and communicate goal and priority to their employee and other stakeholders. That's all from us. Thank you.